Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Russell Wilson hopes to keep the Seahawks' slim playoff hopes alive in Los Angeles, facing Matthew Stafford and the Rams. It's the Tuesday version of the NFL on Fox. The Rams focusing on getting their 10th win of the season, hosting the Seahawks today. Both teams coming off back-to-back wins. As we walk you to the NFL on Fox, season's greetings on a Tuesday. Stepping in for Daryl Johnston, Brock Heward. Good to see you. I'm Chris Myers, and this is where they're going to have the Super Bowl in about 7.5 weeks, and the Rams hope to stay on a path to get that opportunity, not just as a wild card, but maybe a division champ. And in their division, they're playing the Seahawks today. Was supposed to be played on Sunday. COVID outbreak, rescheduled. Good news for the Rams, Brock. Today, they will have Jalen Ramsey active, also Odell Beckham, just to name a few, to go with that hot combo of Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp.
The stars shine in L.A., right? They love their superstars down here. They'll all be raring to go. And listen, this is adversity. And the coaches, the good coaches in this league, they embrace it. We got two good coaches here. They're not ducking from this adversity. They're going to run. They're going to attack it. And they're going to try to use this adversity to strengthen them down the stretch.
Seahawks got to dig out of a hole, unfortunately for them, because of COVID. Tyler Lockett, top receiver out, missing some defensive starters. But they do have Rashad Penny coming off his best career game. And Russell Wilson, who's been better after each game since having that finger surgery.
Yeah, this is a tough matchup. It's been a tough matchup for the Seahawks. They've lost 7 of the last 10, but those 3 they've won, Chris, they've pounded the ball. And beat to us over and over. We're a ground and pound, and it's going to be Rashad Penny heavy tonight running between those tackles.
All right, wrapping up Week 15, this is how it looks in the NFC. The Rams can tie for the top spot. Arizona has the tiebreaker at the moment in the NFC West. The wild card, Seattle has to win out at best chance. There are scenarios, but finish in some kind of a tie with the 49ers, where they would have the tiebreaker as a wild card. Let's head down to the field now, and Jen Hale.
Chris, COVID has not been kind to either one of these teams. At one point last week, the Rams were down 31 players. Even if they promoted everybody from the practice squad, they could not have fielded an active roster. You mentioned who they got back today, though. They are still without Tyler Higbee, and on defense, their signal caller, Jordan Fuller. Hawks are down 7 active roster players, including, as you mentioned, Tyler Lockett and Alex Collins on offense. DJ Reed in that backfield, guys. Now, the Seahawks did have a plane ready to go on the airfield in Seattle in case any of these guys cleared protocol, but that was not to be the case, obviously.
Well, the Seahawks won the toss and deferred, I should say, and that is Brandon Powell back to receive for the Rams. They won the earlier meeting back in October when Russell Wilson was injured in that game, and here we go. Glad to have you watching on the NFL on Fox, and Powell from the 1.5-yard line of the Rams. Up across the 25 and down the sideline he goes. A healthy return to give the Ram offense and Matthew Stafford good starting position. Where he ranks at putting up touchdowns, 33 touchdown passes in his first year with the Rams, currently second. Quarterback ranking the same. He had his best passing yardage game, a season high 365 against Seattle up there Week 5.
Said by far the most complex offense he's ever operated. There is a ton of detail to it. Some new pieces up front as well, especially at right tackle.
Sony Michel starts in the backfield. Henderson, as we said, is available. That's Van Jefferson in motion. That return, 34 yards, setting up Michel, who drives to about the 38-yard line. The offensive line, some reshuffling going on as Havenstein and Tyler Higbee are out for the Rams.
And that will be an adjustment. There's no question about it. But the good thing for the Rams is the last couple weeks, as much as Rashad Penny ran it last week, Chris, well, that's been Sony Michel as well. 44 carries the last 2 weeks, couple hundred yards as well. And there's a guy the whole offense is centered around, Cooper Kupp. 32% of the targets go to him. That leads the NFL for receivers.
He's the whole show, as Pete Carroll described him. The offense runs through Cooper Kupp after a 5-yard pickup. It's Michel, who carried the ball so well a week ago Monday night when the shorthanded Rams knocked off the NFC West leading Arizona Cardinals. And a look at the Seattle defense. Kerry Hyder is missing up front. And also DJ Reed at the corner spot. Their best cover guy is out as well.
Yeah, that's a big loss in DJ Reed, especially in this matchup with Beckham Jr. on the back end of it. Watch for Al Woods. He's not quite as dominant as the other 99 on the other side, but he is a guy that the Seahawks will move around that defensive line. He's been playing his best ball the last 8 weeks.
3rd down 3. Stafford well protected. And a 1st down catch at the 47. That's Odell Beckham. Already 3 touchdown grabs since he has joined the Rams.
3rd down's a big key. Just 2 of 10 in the first matchup in week number 5. But you can see on the outside, just a little slant route gets inside. That's all based on that formation, Chris, and those splits. It just gave Beckham Jr. the advantage right off the gate. Sidney Jones couldn't close it down, and the Rams convert their first third of the game.
Sony Michel remains the back. Cooper Kupp is in the backfield. That's him in motion. And he's getting the football. Beckham trying to block. And Cooper Kupp has to scramble around.
Well, Pete said it once, he said it 10 times to us. This offense goes through number 10. And it's not just in conventional routes on the outside. It's just like that. They motion him into a formation. Any way they can get Cooper Kupp the ball, they are going to do it. And watch him as a blocker as well. One of the most willing blockers at that position in the game.
He leads in almost any category you can come up with as a receiver this year, going to the Pro Bowl. And Pete Carroll said he's never seen any offense, not with a Julio Jones or a Calvin Johnson, that has been so committed to any one receiver as the Rams are to Cooper Kupp. Michel has it. Sony Michel with a 1st down to the 42-yard line of Seattle.
Well, that is to that remade right side of the line, and a nice job by Bobby Evans out here, the right tackle. Right, he is just going to get, that's an outside run, that outside stretch, and a really nice job by Michel there to put his foot in the ground and go north and south. But that is set up by the movement. Okay, the Seahawks got to win on the edge there, Chris. You cannot allow, in that case, Evans to seal the edge.
Michel took advantage. He stepped up the last couple of weeks. 10-yard pickup there. 200 rush yards total against Jacksonville and Arizona. Jefferson in motion again. Stafford from the pocket dumps it off. All alone is Sony Michel, and he's inside the 30, down to the 25. A flag is down as he goes down, and it will be a Ram 1st down pending that flag.
I think that is going to be a hold.
Offense number 63. 10-yard penalty. Replay the down.
Shawn Hochuli calling it on Austin Corbett.
That's just right here, and it's big Puna forward. You saw Puna earlier run down that outside zone, and that's pretty obvious. Those arms get outside. That's good effort by Puna. Excellent check down by Matthew Stafford. Something he's just grown in confidence. Told us it really took about week 1 of the regular season, where from a language standpoint and understanding of everything that Sean McVay wants of him in this system, getting to the checkdowns is a big indicator of how comfortable a quarterback is.
So now it's 1st and 20, Brock, back at the Ram 48. Darrell Henderson checks in at running back. He's missed 3 games this year, including the last one. Stafford will flip to Henderson, who's knocked down right away. Excellent defensive play. Sidney Jones from his corner spot.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter who Pete Carroll has at corner. If you're going to play in his system, and Richard Sherman did this in the early stages of it, you've got to come up and finish. Sidney is not nearly the size of Richard Sherman, 6 foot, 180 pounds, but he is willing. Big time tackle.
Quick snap, Stafford open, wide open, gathering in the throw. Ben Skoranek, and he'll be at the 37, short of the 1st down.
That is twice now, Chris Myers, from this booth, you have said wide open.
Yes.
Wide open, because that is just a deep dropping zone where the emphasis for the Seahawks is to keep everything in front of them, but it sure does give a lot of turf.
And they've been kind of in the middle wide open, but not too deep, and that's one thing Pete Carroll said, that Stafford is such a terrific intermediate passer.
That's right.
Really puts pressure on the linebackers or the coverage back there. Facing a 3rd down 5. Here comes a flag. flag. Stafford with the pass, complete. That's Odell Beckham to the 30. He'll have a first down. Again, we'll check the flag. Shawn Hochuli, by the way, his crew, they average the most penalties of any officiating crew this year. I'm sorry to report.
Illegal formation. Offense, number 71. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay, third down.
That's going to be the right tackle. We watched Bobby Evans do a beautiful job earlier, but look how deep he is. Here's the line of scrimmage for that line judge, and you can see the right tackle. It's about 2.5 yards. That helmet has to break the belt line of the center, and they'll give you a little wiggle room, but that one, unfortunately, not even close for Evans.
You don't want to wiggle near the belt line. All right, so there's another penalty. Wipes out a first down, so they're back at the Seattle 43 as Sony Michel checks in for the Rams. Just typical of the Seattle defense, giving up yards, but nothing yet. No points. Michel, and they're gathering him in after maybe a yard gain. Fired up is L.J. Collier.
That's a really good job by L.J. That is a curious call on 3rd and 10. You almost run that kind of play, Chris, hoping to get 4 or 5 yards. McVay, he doesn't like it. He doesn't like something at the line of scrimmage either, and I think it's that 3rd down penalty is what he's not liking.
Yeah.
He's saying, hey, man, you've got to tell our tackle to at least creep up to the line of scrimmage, but a very conservative run call on 3rd and 10.
Very shocking. Ram fans with all that offensive firepower. So they're passing up what would be a 60-yard field goal try. Hecker with a punt. Fair catch called for by Swain, and a flag down back inside the 45.
And this is going to be, you see right away, a 5-yard running into the punter that is not going to gain a first down, but it could give Sean McVay a 4th and 5.
Or a 55-yard field goal try, and that is the long for Matt Gay this year.
Running into the kicker, defense number 98. Los Angeles has chosen to enforce that 5-yard penalty from the previous spot and replay 4th down.
And it looks like it's Alton Robinson, I believe, was the number called. Only 5 if it was flagrant. Would have been a first down. Most accurate kicker in the league, although it's a long-range shot here for Matt Gay. Streak of 18 straight since his lone miss of 46 yards back in week 4. And this will be from 55 yards away. Opening drive stalls for the Rams. You see how much time they took in the opening quarter. Gay, it's up there. It's out there. From 55 yards away, it's good there. A penalty after lining up for a punt sets up the Rams for a 3-point try. And reliable Matt Gay in the Rams house gives them a 3-0 advantage.
$6.
Awfully nice of you to be with us here in Southern California. That's a Southern California Christmas tree by the beach. Brock Hewart, Chris Myers. Rams 3-0 after the Matt Gay field goal. He drives this deep, no return possibility. Seahawks start for the first time today at their own 25-yard line. Russell Wilson, last couple of games, they upset the 49ers, then beat Houston, and he's looked sharp, and he's got the running game going.
He's going to tell you he was fine the first game back, but he wasn't. There was no question the last couple of weeks you've just watched his accuracy grow. You see the percentage there. It is obvious the decision making as well, but this is a tough matchup. This is the one group that can rush 4, and as he said to us, make it feel like they're rushing 6 or 7 at him.
His 6th start, missing 3 games on injured reserve. Again, the broken finger came in October against the Rams, their first meeting. Penny is the running back. Rashad Penny gets the football in a big hole. Then a first down across the 35-yard line. He had that breakout game last week. We mentioned a career best, and he looks hot on the first carry here.
Tremendous job by the right side of that line. Watch the right tackle, Curhan. He's making his 2nd start there at right tackle. Big Gabe Jackson. They brought Gabe Jackson in for this matchup to try to wrestle Aaron Donald and the rest of that front 4, and that is an explosive run out the gate.
Picked up 11. 16 carries last week, 137 yards and 2 touchdowns. An injury-plagued career, but Rashad Penny healthy now. Wilson to throw and fires complete up across the 40. Gerald Everett, the former Ram who missed the earlier meeting against his former team. There's the offensive line, and DK Metcalf pressure on with Tyler Lockett, their top receiver, out as they go to the line in a hurry on 2nd down 4. It's Penny short of the 1st down.
And did not think we would see a ton of tempo, right, with some of the injuries and the depleted roster for both of these teams. I did not think tempo would be a big part of it, but I don't mind it there, and they're doing it again. They're getting right to the line of scrimmage again, and you're doing this to try to simplify some of that rush and the substitution on the other side.
Again, Jalen Ramsey back for the Rams. Pass caught. That's Metcalf in a 1st down in Ram territory. Playing with a bad back and a sore foot.
I'll tell you what else that tempo does is it does not allow the Rams to travel. I think you're going to see Ramsey as much as possible tonight travel with DK Metcalf, a guy that Raheem Morris, the D coordinator, called a giant. He wants his giant on their giant, but that time the tempo allows that slant route to be run on the undersized corner, and a big conversion for the Hawks.
He's on him now. It was long on the last coverage of Metcalf, and this running play goes nowhere. Before the snap, on that previous play.
This is what you do on the playground, right? When you got to switch. I got the little guy guarding me. I don't got the big guy. You post him up. You get inside. That's all that was. It's just out on that playground. I'm bigger than your guy. I'm going to body you up. And a well-thrown ball on that 3rd down conversion.
He's easy to spot with those shoes he wears. Grinch-like. How festive. There's Ramsey lined up against the 6'4" Metcalf. On a 2nd down 8, Penny has it, but the Rams are there. Justin Hollins making the tackle. On a 3rd down 7, Penny, half of his career really missed by injury, but when he had the opportunity last week, that burst of speed, he put up career best numbers.
Yeah, he just got a different gear. 7 kickoff return touchdowns as an Aztec in college. That's why he was a 1st rounder a week ago. He showed that explosion.
DJ Dallas in at running back. Rams blitz on 3rd and 7. Wilson tries to dump it off, but there's Aaron Donald. And he threw DJ Dallas to the turf, and it's 4th down.
Chris, this was going to be really good if they could have accounted for Aaron Donald, but this is the problem. You see him over the right guard, right in the middle of that defensive line. He just feels that screen. Right, you could see the soft green grass behind it if they could have gotten by Aaron Donald. But that's why this guy is the best defensive player in the game, right? You want to run screens. You think on 3rd down he's just going to be undisciplined. Well, he's not. He sniffs it out. And he forces the punt.
Going to his 8th Pro Bowl, the 3-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year. So lined up to punt with Cooper Kupp back. Michael Dixon. And a fair catch. That's his 35th punt inside the 20. Sets a Seahawk record. Rams with a 3-0 lead, but the defense gives it back to the offense here in Los Angeles. Former Australian rules football player. So his 35th punt inside the 20 this year leads the NFL, and it's a new, as I mentioned, Seahawks season record already. A 40-yard boot without a return. Sony Michel shoved backwards. Puna forward as they snapped it from the 12-yard line. Fox Super 6 giving away a house this holiday season. Scan the QR code, enter the Christmas Special Challenge, and opt into the house sweepstakes for your free chance to win this giveaway. It's free to play. Just download the Super 6 app. Good luck from the Rams house to yours.
That's not Terry's house, though.
No, I don't think you want to go near that house. The hen house. 2nd down 12. Big defensive play by Seattle. They got the Rams pinned in here. Michel's been the workhorse for the most part so far. Stafford incomplete. Coverage was good in the middle of the field. He's trying to get to Kendall Blanton, the backup to Tyler Higbee, who again is out because of COVID. That last Ram drive, by the way, 6 minutes 44 seconds. They settled for 3, but kept the ball away from the Seattle offense.
Kind of been the Seahawks defense, right? They've been on the field more than anybody else in football. You're going to see their 1,000th snap here in just a moment. But the ability to get off the field on this down and distance, that's been critical. That is why they've kept their scoring points so low this season. It's a big 3rd and 12 from a field position standpoint.
Stafford has a moment here, and middle of the field, catch made. That's a first down. Van Jefferson.
And you said it in that opening drive. What Stafford does as well as anybody in the league are these deep intermediate throws. And this is good on good. This is going to end up being Quandre Diggs, the best cover guy right now. You can see he tries to undercut that deep over. And he knows that he's going for his 5th interception of the season, but that ball just has too much velocity. That's a well-run route by Jefferson, staying flat. He runs away from Diggs and a big 3rd down conversion.
Jefferson emerging. Matthew Stafford, you know, Jefferson's father, who's the receiver coach, was on the Lions staff when Matthew Stafford was there. He said he's known Van Jefferson since he was a kid, 10, 12 years old. Michelle carries. There's not much there. There's Bobby Wagner, who leads the NFL in tackles and takes care of things. Let's get a game break. Check in with Kurt Menefee. Hey, Kurt.
Hey, Chris. Follow the bouncing ball here. Dallas Goedert has it go off his hands and off his foot. Washington interception. Lucky break. Winds up being a touchdown. Antonio Gibson puts him up 7-0 over the Eagles midway through the first quarter. How crazy was that?
Crazy, and it's crazy to have Tuesday Night Football, a doubleheader on Fox, keeping you, and Kurt will keep you updated on there. You see the NFC East standings, 2 teams below 500, but the winner will get into that wild card chase. That's what Seattle wants to be a part of. On the run, pressure coming, but completes Cooper Kupp to the 34-yard line. Need to get to the 38 to get a first down, and we've been complimenting Cooper Kupp, who's going, as I said, to his first Pro Bowl, but the numbers are staggering.
Yeah, in every way, and I think maybe the most surprising is yards after catch. He leads everybody in the NFL, and you look at that list of being the only Triple Crown guys, which is where he's at now, leading in yards, receptions, and touchdowns. Those are 3 of the very best to ever do it.
The great Jerry Rice leading the way. On 3rd down, 4. Stafford well protected again, going deep for Beckham, who was pretty well covered there. There's a flag, maybe too well covered. Bless Austin, who is in for DJ Reed, the top one-on-one cover guy for Seattle. We'll see who the call is on. They're discussing it.
Pass interference. Defense number 36. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
This is the one element when you look at the Rams from a season ago to this year. It is their ability to push the vertical route. It's just an inside fade. And Bless Austin knows the minute he gives it up, the whole premise of the Seahawks defense is to stay on top, stay on top. He knows he's beat at that moment. And instead of giving up the big play, there's the reach and the grab. Pete doesn't like it. He'll watch that tape afterwards, and he will see the tug on that jersey. And that's why that first down was gained.
He was on Beckham, the COVID list, Tuesday, just a day after the season high 6 catches for 77 yards in that win at Arizona. But active for this, pushed back.
Hey, easy, let's go, Wagner Madison. 54, Wagner Madison.
54 is Wagner. Pointed out by Stafford. A quick toss off the hands of Cooper Kupp, was rushed a little bit. And it'll be 2nd and 10. A little bit of an adjustment on that play.
Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of language. You're going to hear him before that snap make a lot of different calls, Chris. And part of the reason you do that in McVay's system is you don't want to just be making calls on run plays, right? Or you don't want to just be making calls on sliding protection. Bobby Wagner is too smart for that. So you're going to use at times some dummy language up there, right? Which I watched Peyton Manning do for some years. And you are not going to let guys like Bobby Wagner use that Morse code and try to figure you out.
Wagner from Ontario Colony High School, Ontario, California. Got Seattle to lean forward. Don't see a flag. The throw right on target at the 45-yard line. Skowronek, again, the rookie from Notre Dame, showing some sure hands.
And once again, that's the 10 to 15 yards where this guy, Matthew Stafford, owns it as much as anybody in the league. Skowronek's going to be in the slot. You saw it on Quandre Diggs earlier. This time it's just on Bobby Wagner. And the key, I'm telling you, is those receivers stay flat off of their cut, and number 9 puts it on the dot.
Without a huddle, Stafford goes short. That's Skowronek again with running room. He was open alone and has a first down. Wagner tracks him down around the 32-31 yard line as his first quarter is winding down in Los Angeles. Stafford 8 out of 10 so far. You see the numbers. That penalty, Beckham taking advantage, helps set him up. We have gone through one in this clash in the NFC West. Rams trying to get their 10th win of the season and chase down the Cardinals. Have a 3-0 lead over Seattle. What they call, it's really window frames, picture frames that let air flow through. Start of the second quarter. It's about 60 degrees here in Southern California. Tuesday NFL on Fox. Jen Hale, Brock Hewitt, Chris Myers. Awfully good of you to be with us. 3-0 Rams are opening drive on a field goal. And now Stafford stepping up and firing. And it's intercepted. Taken away at the 5-yard line by Quandre Diggs. All the way back up across the 30 for Seattle. His 5th interception of the season. The Rams on the move. Stafford intercepted by a former Lion teammate. Yeah, they played together in Detroit. Diggs with the takeaway for the Seahawks.
Today's game is sponsored by Ford, built for America.
Ken Norton, defensive coordinator of Seattle, called him. Well, he said that Quandre Diggs does for our defense what Russell Wilson does for our offense. 5 of the 8 interceptions that the Seattle team has for the entire year, and it sets up the offense with Rashad Penny in the backfield. Penny has it, and Penny steps short. Here comes a flag as he was brought down at the 39-yard line. And looks like a hold.
Holding. Offense, number 68. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
Damian Lewis. Let's check that interception and a closer look at what happened to Stafford.
Yeah, you mentioned 2 former teammates. Stafford is trying to look Quandre Diggs off. He knows that he is the only safety deep, but the problem was he couldn't tell how deep Quandre Diggs was. Look at the depth that Quandre continues to gain. He's trying to look him to the right, but there is simply too much depth for Diggs. He takes the perfect angle and gets his 5th pick of the year.
10 interceptions now for Stafford for the year. Wilson scrambling and finds Gerald Everett. Stays in bounds up across the 30, making up some of that yardage on the penalty.
You know, I know you guys have every stat there is in the NFL on your little sheet over there. Do you have the stat for how many penalty holding yards Aaron Donald gains as well?
You know what? He had that, or his agent gave it to me last year. I haven't kept track. I do know that against Seattle in 15 previous games, he has 14 sacks. Russell Wilson will be the...
That doesn't count as a tackle for loss, but that first down run of a hold and negative 10 yards is a huge play.
He gets double teamed, often triple teamed. Sometimes by design, even the Rams like that, it frees up Leonard Floyd, excuse me. Pass is incomplete. And now it'll be 3rd and 11. Leonard Floyd, we asked Raheem Morris, defensive coordinator of the Rams, after Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, who's your MVP? And he said it was Leonard Floyd, his 8 sacks, and hopes to be active against Russell Wilson this afternoon.
Well, he had 5 of them last year against Russell. And yeah, Raheem, everybody knows about Aaron Donald. He's an absolute superstar. He's the best defensive player in the game. But it's how he sets the table for the rest of his guys up front, why they've been so dominant in this matchup.
No sacks allowed last week. First time this year for Seattle on 3rd and 11. Wilson dancing around, trying to get away, and he can't. A sack. It's Von Miller. Active off the COVID list and ready for today.
Well, this is a tough one on Dwayne Brown. The left tackle 76, because this is a hitch, and Russell's trying to step up and throw, but as good as the rush was, the coverage on the back end was better. There was nowhere for Russell to go, and Vaughn, he gets the home fans screaming for him.
Loss of 9. Dixon. That's Brandon Powell. Fair catch. Backed up at the 32, 33-yard line of the Rams. So 5.5 sacks for the year coming over from Denver. That star power you were talking about, the star is shining. That's his first sack. 5 here in Los Angeles. Wrapping up week 15. A little delay on Tuesday. Week 16. Take a look Thursday. 49ers at Titans. It's on NFL Network. And then Christmas Day, Browns and Packers on Fox and the NFL Network. And Colts, Cardinals, Christmas evening on the NFL Network. Week 16 starts, you're right, in about 48 hours. Wow. 57-yard punt without a return. Henderson across the 35-yard line. That'll bring up a second down. I'm just wondering if Bless Austin is in for DJ Reed. I know there's some zone going on with the Seattle defense, but shouldn't Stafford and McVay being attacking that area?
Well, I think there has been so much yardage, Chris, in that zone coverage that you just early on especially take what Pete Carroll's going to give you. If you're going to play some of that zone, they actually got a little bit greedy on that interception, trying to take a shot. But there's Bless Austin, as you mentioned, at the bottom of the screen, replacing the best cover corner in DJ Reed.
Van Jefferson is the receiver with Cup in motion that Austin is against. The Cup will have a handoff. They're trying to block for him, but Seattle's ready for that. And it will bring up a third down. Alton Robinson, second-year player from Syracuse, credit for the tackle. Well, you mentioned the yardage and the amount of snaps that the Seattle defense. You look at the stats. I mean, they're last in a lot of categories defensively, but again, 5th in scoring defense, and that's really the most important statistic as a defense is how many points you give up.
Situational football, third down defense, red zone defense. That is why those situational areas is why they've been so good. And look at that, no team in 50 years has finished last in yards yet top 5 in scoring. Situationally and special teams, definitely components of it.
Opportunity on 3rd and 5. Let's see how much pressure they bring. The blitz is on. It's picked up, and the catch made. Bryce Hopkins has a first down on the move. The coverage was pretty good by Ryan Neal. He's in there for Jamal Adams, who was injured a couple of weeks ago with that shoulder surgery.
And you called it right. This is the first snap where you've seen more than 4 Seahawks come. They try to rush 5. Jordan Brooks off the edge, and you've got the perfect play called. You've got a little shallow cross that's running away from a safety right there. And that's credit to Sean McVay. That's anticipating on a 3rd and 5. Maybe we'll get man coverage. We'll get a little bit of a pressure, and let's get to the perfect route to beat that coverage. And Stafford executes.
Hopkins, second-year player, drafted in the 4th round with a catch and carry for 9 yards from the 46. McVay almost ran into the official to get a timeout. High energy, Sean McVay.
Urgent.
Timeout. Los Angeles, their first of the half, 30-second timeout.
You know, the sign said urgent enjoyment. You noticed that when we were Zooming with the coach, who had a crazy week juggling players, and you asked him what that meant, and I thought because of all the COVID stuff that it said urgent care. That's what I was worried about. But he said, he explained it to you.
That's right. Right over his shoulder, what he looks at every day in his office. I guess it's the Ted Lasso effect, right? He's got believe in his office, but that's important to Sean McVay. And in talking to Rams personnel before the game, last year there was always a sense of urgency. That guy never lacks in desire, he never lacks in energy, but trying to also enjoy it. And I think he's enjoying number 9. I think he's enjoying Raheem Morris, Odell Beckham Jr., Von Miller, but a constant reminder every day to enjoy this game that you get to play.
Darrell Henderson is the running back. Stafford, a quick drop of the catch made. Cup with a first down inside the 45 of Seattle. It's almost indefensible.
Well, what makes him so difficult is he's everywhere. Right? You've seen him in the backfield twice. You've seen him on little bubble routes trying to just get him the ball early. This time, that's basically a tight end on a little stick route, so they move him around constantly. And you may know he's the focal point, Chris, as Pete Carroll said to us. But then identifying him and getting the right coverage, that's what's difficult.
In fact, he has catches this year from 7 different pre-snap alignments. And you can go through your technical jargon. I love that Z receiver and, you know, X out here and this guy there. I just know he gets open and catches the ball. He picked up 9. Trying to get the first down. Darrell Henderson, tough. Boona Ford started. It looked like he got it and was pushed back.
Well, how about this? He doesn't just catch the ball. I mean, this is what is different about Cooper Kupp and what I love and his peers love. He's going to block here a defensive end. That's Darrell Taylor. And that is what you're asked to do in this system. It isn't just all those fancy catches. It isn't being the triple threat guy with touchdowns and yards after catch. It's also when your best players do the nitty gritty like that and they get down and they block edge players, and you gain the ultimate respect of your teammates and your peers.
Meanwhile, a lot of yards for the Rams, a lot of plays. That Seattle defense out there, but it's only a 3-0 Ram lead. At first down, Stafford drops. Pressure coming. Henderson has it. Hit hard. Knocked out at the 41. That's Darrell Taylor, who's known for his sacks and leads the team on quarterback hits. That's a hit that you'll remember whether you're a quarterback or not.
This is what P wanted. If you're going to play zone, and this was the old days of the Seahawk football, you can play that soft zone, then I'm going to come up and I'm going to collision. And Darrell Taylor does not only lead this team in sacks with 6 on the season, that shows his versatility. And I think next time Darrell Henderson catches that little underneath route, he's going to have his eyes on 52.
Only picked up 3 and paid for it. Henderson stays in. Kupp is in the slot there to the left of Stafford. Henderson with the carry and finds some room inside the 35. Near a first down, but they're going to mark him just looks like a little bit short.
And guess who sets all that up? It's Cooper Kupp. As you have a Seahawk down, and I think that might be the big boy Al Woods, but that is Cooper Kupp lined up in that position, as you said, in that slot, and not blocking a defensive end that time, blocking a nickelback, but it's his block that sets up that run.
We'll check on Al Woods. Hope he's okay. 3-0 Rams with a timeout. Al Woods, I call him Big Al. He's over on the sideline. Robert Kimdichie will take his spot on the defensive line. And yeah, when we asked him about what he's weighing now, he didn't hesitate. 347.
That's right. He was proud of that fact, too. Said it's the sushi in Seattle on Thursday nights.
That's a lot of sushi. Could be a lake, an ocean full. On 3rd and 1. Do they go for the deep ball? No. And they go for the first down. And Michelle twisting and should have it, but will check the spot. Again, that yellow line is just superimposed as kind of a guide, and they're giving him the first down.
You wanted Sean McVay to start picking on Bless Austin.
But I didn't want that. It was an option.
Well, that would have been the option. 3rd and 1 is the down and distance. You get man coverage more than any other down and distance in the NFL. If he wanted to, he could have set up that formation. And I'm with you, Chris. At some point, you're going to see that. And actually, you have another, looks like Seahawk down, and it is Bless Austin.
So he started for DJ Reed, who went on the COVID list, thin at the corner spot. They did activate from the practice squad an extra defensive back and Josh Jones. Al Woods is returning to the field, all 347 pounds. And he's called the Igniter by Ken Norton. He says, he plays animated, all about energy, and he certainly was full of that when we talked to him. It looks like John Reed, second-year player from Penn State, is coming in.
Well, even more. If you wanted to try to get after Bless Austin, well, I think you're going to now pick on Reed even that much more. I'm going to anticipate some soft zone coverage from Seattle defensively.
Looking one way. Cooper Kupp trying to put a move on. To the 30, Sidney Jones wouldn't let him get away. Matthew Stafford in his career, this is first year with the Rams, including the postseason, 50,000 plus yards, the fastest to 50,000 in NFL history. When you think about all the outstanding quarterbacks, Drew Brees defeats him by 1 game for that mark. Drew Brees is watching and appreciating the moment. Stafford, quick throw and drop. He was all alone. Skowronek, who made 2 catches earlier, couldn't hold that one at the 25.
Okay, so here's the key to that defense, that number that we put up, right? That no team since the merger has been top 5 in scoring defense and last in yards allowed. And Skowronek Maybe that had a little something to do with that hit earlier that we saw from Darrell Taylor. Those guys underneath start to have their head on a swivel and look around. But these are the downs and distances of how you stay a top 5 scoring team. Finding a way to get off the field on a 3rd and 8. Take advantage of that drop if you're the Seattle defense.
And have the Rams thrown deep enough yet? Here on 3rd and 8, Seattle's ready for it with a deep drop. Ryan Neal is way back there. Stafford is looking around. And he's going to be sacked at the 43. Rasheem Green. Looked like he wanted to go to Cup, but he couldn't quite get set.
And I think he also wanted it right over the ball here. You're going to see the route, but Bobby Wagner gets sticky. You're playing zone coverage, but on 3rd down, you have got to get tight. That's exactly who he was looking for. But tremendous effort there by Bobby Wagner. One, and Rasheem Green then to close that pocket, and that sack knocks the Rams out of field goal range.
4th sack of the season for Green. Johnny Hecker will try and pin the Seahawks. Swain. No, he did not fair catch that. And he's got room up across the 15-yard line. Nice return by Swain. Sets up Seattle after the Hecker punt of 33 yards.
And on.
Not exactly the offensive show that you might have expected. 3-0. Rams opening drive settling for a field goal. Doing a penalty and a sack. They've taken themselves out of the opportunity for 2 other field goals. So this is only the 3rd possession for Seattle. The other 2 have ended in punts. Russell Wilson to throw and has time. And now he's on the move. A high throw and knocked away. Trying to get the D. Eskridge, the rookie from Western Michigan. Leonard Floyd was back there in coverage.
Yeah, one of the challenges when you play this Rams defense, a year ago when it was coordinated by Brandon Staley, this year with Raheem Morris, is there's always eyes in the backfield. Right, and as a receiver there, D. Eskridge in this league, you just can't wait for that ball. Beautiful job by Leonard Floyd showing you his versatility to get underneath that route. But you watch Raheem Morris's Rams, they've continued that theme of having those eyes into the backfield and sure sitting on a lot of these routes.
Metcalf has it, holds up and is shoved out of bounds by Jalen Ramsey. Hey, this February, one of the most unique races NASCAR has ever had, and it's coming to Los Angeles. Michael Waltrip, 2-time Daytona 500 champ, and the Fox NASCAR crew, they're going to be on hand to bring you the Clash at the Coliseum. It's live on Fox, February 6th. They had the groundbreaking ceremony at the Coliseum as they turned that into a track. He's here watching this game, and he was there exactly on the anniversary of when they broke ground for the Coliseum. The week before the Super Bowl, that's Sunday on Fox. NASCAR racing at the historic Coliseum. 3rd and 6. Wilson's throw. Metcalf can't handle it. Ramsey on the coverage.
That's your big on big. That's your giant on giant. Every significant snap, Raheem Morris wanted to get Jalen Ramsey on DK Metcalf, especially without Lockett around. You can see Ramsey reading the hips. He undercuts it, and he just gets his hands on it. Look at the timing. Usually when DBs elevate that early, that ball will go extend right over them, but Go-Go Gadget Arms knocks it away. That's why he's the best corner in the game.
Michael Dixon with another punt. Backing up and knocked down. Excellent special teams play. Brandon Powell inside the 25-yard line. Jalen Ramsey with good defense on DK Metcalf. That's the kind of half it's been so far. Good defense. Ramsey, 4-time Pro Bowler. Ready to go to another Pro Bowl. Not all announced. Some have been for Aaron Donald and Cooper Kupp. Darrell Henderson starts as the running back after that 54-yard punt. Nobody's been close to getting a touchdown in his first half. And Stafford is sacked again at the 15-yard line. Carlos Dunlap.
Well, that's now the second time you have seen these Seahawks bring a little pressure. And Matthew Stafford right now having a hard time finding his footing a little bit. You're going to see the pressure come off the edge here, the fifth defender. And Carlos Dunlap just wins right off the jump. Bobby Evans is in at right tackle. There's no Havenstein. There's no Boone. And he wins right off the jump, but that pressure into the face of Stafford in a critical negative play.
A loss of 9. Bless Austin is in the locker room. Jen Hale will give us an update. Darrell Henderson carries. It's 3rd and long. So you have John Reed at one corner, Sidney Jones at the other.
Nobody will make excuses, right? This is the world that we live in. This game got pushed to Tuesday, but I think you're also feeling a little reality that there was no practice Wednesday, no practice Thursday, and a little bit of tempo here for the Rams to try to get it going.
On a 3rd and 17, he better look out. He's going to air it out and wide open. It's Cooper Kupp. He's got it at the Seattle 40. Working against John Reed, who came in, he came in for Bless Austin, who was in for DJ Reed.
Yeah, this takes a long time. This is going to be a 2-deep coverage there. There's Reed, the corner. But because Stafford is able to step up, it is really a 2-on-1 between the safety there. It's Ugo Amadi who is left out there. Look how long this takes. Mississippi, and that just stretches that zone defense. There's some of the arm strength that Stafford has fitted in.
A 42-yard play on 3rd and long. Back to Henderson. Hit hard. Still going. He ran into Ryan Neal from that safety spot. That backup secondary, as Kupp is getting checked on over on the sideline when he leaped for that catch a moment ago. But the Rams finally taking advantage of an injury-ravaged secondary.
You'll see that contact on the lower leg. Ugo Amadi, he's usually a nickelback, but again with moving pieces on the back end of that secondary, corners down, backup corners down, new pieces in many different spots. Kupp doing all he can to shake that hit off.
Stafford has it, can't find anybody, and throws incomplete. Beckham was in the area. Puna Ford looked like he deflected that ball. Had a chance.
How did Puna get there?
I don't know. We're seeing D linemen dropping into coverage, linebackers in coverage. This is freaky. It's a freaky Tuesday.
Well, he's not 347. He's about 310, but this is all effort from Puna Ford. Look at the big man continue to chase.
Oh, he almost had a pick.
Oh, and he's going to get laughed at in that D-line room. Love the effort. But a chance there to a big-time interception out of the big nets.
Kupp is back out there. Sony Michel in the backfield. And we're going to have a timeout. Rams. They had 4 seconds before the 2-minute warning. I think, were they trying to beat the clock expiring here, the play clock?
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Wow.
So they did not, after all that, apparently they did not get the timeout called in time. Or did he's trying to say, I did.
Before the delay of game. Timeout. Los Angeles. Their second of the half.
All right, thanks for clarifying.
Timeout.
Join Fox Sports in giving the gift of play this holiday season, supporting the She Who Plays campaign with nonprofit partner Good Sports to keep girls in low-income communities across the country engaged in sports fair play. Visit goodsports.org/Fox Sports and learn more. 37-yard line of Seattle on a 3rd down 7. Last time they were down here close, Stafford was intercepted.
And here's Kupp right in the middle of that bunch formation.
Beckham, bottom of your screen. Middle of the field, not enough for the first down is Skoranek. Wagner with a quick tackle at the 2-minute warning. Supposed to be Sunday, moved to Tuesday. Important NFC West clash, and their defenses are showing up. Horizon halftime report coming up. They'll have highlights of that Washington-Philly game. Good defense there. Oh, that's very nice here at the stadium. Welcoming us from the Fox crew. And they're going for it. Passing up what would be about a 50-yard field goal try on 4th down and 2. Michelle is back there. Cooper Kupp in the crowd, top of your screen. Stafford couldn't hold it. Coverage good. It would have been a first down. Jordan Brooks kept it away from Kupp.
This is the best defense, zone coverage-wise, I've seen of the Seahawks this season. Playing these underneath routes. Right, this is Jordan Brooks. This is the rookie on Cooper Kupp, and his job is just to block that young player out. Brooks, a second-year player, but he sniffs it. He feels it. And it's just like a basketball player, Chris, that's posting up, and it's an entry pass into the post. And Brooks could not time that better. He disrupts it. He and Wagner have been terrific at the second level, limiting those completions. And the big fella, Puna, I can laugh about that dropped interception now.
Yeah, and Brooks, one of the most, probably the most improved defensive player. But you like the Rams going for it or trying to add to it? What is
I do, because I think it's a reflection of how confident Sean McVay feels about his defense right now.
Well, they dominated in other areas, but it's only 3-0. DJ Dallas is the back. Russell Wilson fires, and that's Everett, who works for a first down before being shoved back.
Now here's the danger of that decision. Not only does Russell Wilson love to operate in these moments, they've got all 3 timeouts. The Seahawks will also get the ball to begin the second half, so you can flip a lot of the energy. Pete Carroll knows that those plays going into halftime and coming out so critical in a one-score game.
Russell slipped, but still got the pass away. And it's DJ Dallas sliding in Ram territory. We'll check where they'll mark him down. A little short to be a first down when they get to the 47 of the Rams, but they're trying to hustle as the clock is running.
Where did he throw this from?
From his knees. He was not touched by a Ram. They need a half a yard. Wilson, pressure coming. It's ball's deflected, but still caught inside the 20. Everett. A flag down around the 34 of the Rams. Von Miller was the one who put the pressure on Wilson and caused the wobbly throw.
Holding. Defense number 5. This penalty's declined as a result of the play is a first down.
Well, that was a beautiful double move by DK Metcalf, and the coaches above us here are seeing the same thing that I felt, those eyes in the backfield. These Rams defenders just squatting on these routes. No Tyler Lockett, so a lot of sitting on the routes. That time Ramsey grabs him, and Russell in just the nick of time has the strength, even through Von Miller, to get the ball away.
Who has a sack already. Such uncanny arm strength in sensing the pressure. 34-yard gain. Wilson trying to get out of this, and he can't. Leonard Floyd brought him down.
Well, it is Leonard Floyd, but it's Aaron Donald, and that is yet another one where 54 is going to give some love to 99 tomorrow in the meeting room. It never shows up. There's nothing on the stat sheet that shows up other than a sack for Leonard Floyd, but it was 99 disrupting the pocket.
All 3 timeouts for Seattle, but the clock running at 25 and counting. Wilson throws incomplete. Estridge, D. Wayne, but goes by D. Second round pick from Western Michigan was the target. Coverage is pretty good back there. Dante Dion, who was waving his arms for the crowd to make more noise, was on the coverage. 3rd and 12. Here comes a flag. It's against Seattle.
Before the snap, false start. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
No runoff since the clock was not running. Dwayne Brown says that's on me. You know, Russell Wilson was telling me during his injury, he spent a lot of time alone out in the field working on 99-yard drives, 2-minute drills, just kind of on his own mentally working how the defense would line up. Looks like Seattle's going to use a timeout after that penalty to discuss things on 3rd and 17. Check in with Kurt Menefee up the freeway with all that traffic.
Okay, start the clock. Howie, this is what's coming up at the half.
Highlights.
Yes, of the Eagles and this football team.
Football team.
Yes, you got it. It's all coming up on what?
The Verizon halftime show.
Yes, you're a winner.
What do I win?
A chance to punch Jay.
Really?
Good crowd for a 4 o'clock start in Los Angeles, where it's tough to get anywhere.
I think after last year, Chris, where this place sat vacant, any chance, any day for fans to come in, especially a team fighting for first in their division like the Rams, is going to rock the building.
Rams just want to keep them out of the end zone, keep them from getting a first down. We have a timeout now, Rams, and that's
timeout,
their
Los
last.
Angeles, their third and final timeout of the half.
Well, with a lot on the line, Rams trying to get their 10th win, get to the top of the NFC West with Arizona. Cardinals losing Sunday. Rams beat them a week ago Monday. And Seattle back-to-back wins. Trying to keep their streak, Brock, of consecutive winning seasons alive and faint playoff hopes. And it's been all about defense so far.
Yeah, this is Pete Carroll's kind of game, right? If we talk to Pete before the game and say, hey, would you take 3-3? Right? And right now, that is the mindset in that huddle. Do not take a sack, no negative play. 3-3, and you get the ball to begin the second half. That is Pete Carroll's kind of game.
Especially given that the unfortunate news of no Tyler Lockett coming in. Also, DJ Reed. And there have been a few players who've gone in and out because of injury. But a chance to take the lead or at least tie here. Wilson has some time, floats one to the corner and out of bounds. He didn't like what he saw. Metcalf was over there. And they'll line up for a field goal to tie this thing. Now, Jason Myers has hit 2 field goals last week, but he's been a little bit inconsistent lately.
Yeah, and even in warm-ups, as I was watching earlier, and Sean McVay likes that stop. I think he, too, doesn't mind a 3-3 game as good as his defense has played. But it was a little choppy in warm-ups going into this end earlier.
This will be a 39-yard try. He did have a 61-yarder here at SoFi. The kick is just didn't work it through the upright on the left side. Was not sure which way it was going to go, but he ties the game with 10 seconds remaining. And works it through. Closing out week 15, the delay to Tuesday. And this is the way it looks. Seahawks, their best scenario is they got to win out and hope they finish in some kind of a tie for the 49ers or with the 49ers in a wild card spot because they would win head-to-head. But there's a lot in between, including the Washington Eagle game that's going on right now. They'll update that at the half. And the Rams, even if they get their 10th win, the Cardinals would still hold the tiebreaker, but games remaining, and that should be 10-4 for Arizona. That graphic updated after the Lions knocked them off.
And there's a lot of teams on there, and no surprise, 27 teams still alive, statistically speaking, for the playoffs. That is remarkable this time of year.
7 out of 32. There's 70-year-old Pete Carroll, the oldest head coach of the NFL, and the youngest is on the other sideline, Shawn McVay, who's half his age. And, you know, they both carry that same kind of, and it's not artificial enthusiasm and energy. It's very real.
Yep. And
their players know it, and they've had to withstand losing a lot of assistant coaches over the course of their successful years, which has affected their teams.
And their familiarity breeds games like this at times, right? Just kind of gritty, tough to score points and make big plays. A lot of familiarity. Going to be a lot of adjustments at halftime for those Rams.
But the stat of Shawn McVay having a lead at the half and never losing, that tie throws that out the window. Your State Farm first half stats, not very exciting offensively, but we'll give the defenses a lot of credit for playing tough physical football. The Quandre Diggs interception as well. The Verizon halftime, they'll check on that Washington Eagle game that's taking place. And the Seahawks set to receive the second half kickoff. It's the NFL on Fox on Tuesday. Next, your game flow brought to you by Progressive. The scrappy Seahawks hanging in there. Short-handed in a 3-3 game, getting a field goal just before the half. Quandre Diggs an interception. Stafford did surpass the 50,000-yard career passing mark, but no touchdown. So I'm sure viewers are watching this saying, boy, there's a lot of offensive star power. So is this more about bad offense or really good defense?
Yeah, I'm going to lean more on the latter there. I think the stars have shown up. I think they've also taken advantage of some of the people that are out. There is no Tyler Lockett, and you feel the Rams just sitting on these Seahawks. On the other side, the Seahawks have done a beautiful job stopping the run. The last 2 weeks, the Rams with Sony Michel have gone up and down the field, 44 rushes over 200 yards. Not that way in the first half. It has been the defense, Chris, and in particular, it's been the stars. Aaron Donald got it going on that opening screen. Here comes Von Miller with his first sack as the Los Angeles Ram, and you know Jalen Ramsey loves that matchup with DK. And how about those Seahawks? Well, yeah, Quandre Diggs picking off his buddy from his days in Detroit, his 5th of the season. Here's Carlos Dunlap getting home, one of 2 sacks, and then Bobby Wagner and Jordan Brooks have played a phenomenal half at the linebacker level. So I think it is part of the offensive pieces out, but it's been tremendous execution defensively.
Deferred in the beginning. Seahawks. DJ Dallas will not have a chance to return. Let's check in with Jeff.
Well, Chris, the Rams might have won the time of possession battle, but Pete Carroll gives his defense credit for keeping this score even. Offensively this half, he wants to focus on Gerald Everett, who had a really strong first half for the Seahawks. He's playing his former team for the first time, actually. Don't forget, in that first meeting between these two, ironically, Everett was out with COVID. Also, circle DK Metcalf, just 2 catches for 4 yards in that first half. Pete told me, hey, I want to force the defense to have to account for him. We're going to look harder for him this half.
Cooper Kupp, 5 catches, leads every receiver. Metcalf with 2 grabs. Wilson will hand off. Rashad Penny started the game with a big run. Picks up 8 there.
And that is one of the keys. That is what Seattle would like to do. That was another facet of their game plan coming in, was to try to hammer away. That is tremendous efficiency on first down. If you can get 3 to 4 yards on first down, you'll live with it. You see just 5 rushes there for Rashad. The number's 12. If he gets more than 12, he has a 100-yard game. I think you feature him as well.
Alex Collins inactive on the COVID list. That's Freddie Swain, who's in the backfield, but they give it to Penny, who gets the first down up across the 37-yard line. Collins is out on the COVID list. Travis Homer the same, and still Adrian Peterson, who they picked up and played a couple of weeks ago in the upset of the 49ers, bothered by a back problem. So it's Rashad Penny and DJ Dallas. And a fresh set of downs. Penny bouncing across the 46-yard line. There is a flag down.
Holding. Offense, number 68. It's a 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
Okay, they need to create a new stat in the NFL, because this is once again Aaron Donald. This is a tackle for loss, right? This creates a negative 10-yard play, right? Because you just get right into the sternum in the chest and you drive that guard back. I don't know what Damian Lewis honestly is supposed to do, and every former guard in America is like, God bless you, Damian. I don't know. I don't know how you block 99, but I do know that that is a tackle for loss. That creates a 10-yard huge negative play.
Takes away a first down. Aaron Donald says his height, he's barely 6'1", works to his advantage. He's so strong, people can't see him submarining. That's Metcalf, and he'll go down around the 37-yard line.
He just, anytime he has somebody smaller than him, just watch him after this catch. I mean, he just puts his shoulder down, and he knows, even if it was Ramsey, he'd try to run through him, but watch him. He knows who's governing him, and he runs right through him.
Where's number 14? Because that's the date of his birthday. He's born on the 14th. Still keeps a list of all those receivers drafted ahead of him on his locker. Fires them up. It's there for him to stare at. Second-round pick.
Poker.
2nd and 11. Will Dissly splitting to the other side of the field from his tight end spot. Interesting move there. Wilson's throw, and that's Freddie Swain, and he's got a first down all the way inside the 40, sliding inside the 40 of the Rams.
Well, you say interesting move, and it is, but this is one of the wrinkles. Remember, Shane Waldron, coordinator, came from this Rams system, and what that motion did is it totally isolated. Right, Dissly's going to move. You see Ramsey go with. There is nobody on this half of the field. You make one guy miss, and you get your big explosive play.
25 yards. Swain's first catch of this game. Came in with 20 catches and 3 touchdowns. DJ Dallas has a hole, and all the way down around the 30. Stopped at the 31 of the Rams.
Well, that's a better job. That's what you do. You cannot block Aaron Donald one-on-one. This is what you do. You put 2 guys on him, and you say, okay, fine. We will leave the edge guy. You're going to have to defend, and you see Lewis then peel off to the second level. But you've got to double team Aaron Donald at the point of attack.
After he picked up 7, he's going to get the first down. Dragging Hollins with him. Second-year player from Miami has had 2 games this year with 5 catches.
So you see the key here, Chris. Just do not have a negative play.
Yeah, he only carried 19 times coming into the game. He's already got back-to-back carries and a first down. In field goal range in a tie game. First possession Seahawks, second half. Wilson's quick throw off the hands of Metcalf.
And that's not a negative play, but that's not a stay on schedule play. But all the other plays, other than that holding call on Aaron Donald, every one of them did what? Kept your efficiency going. And this is just a little hitch route, right? But Russell can feel who's breathing down on DK, and that's one that you just got to put in the belly. And the 2 of them, if he makes a tackle, it's still a 4-yard gain. And you stay on schedule. These are the downs and distances. It starts to get scary facing that front.
So see how they treat Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, Von Miller.
Well, that's fun.
That's on 2nd and 10. Penny's the back. Some finger pointing. He gets the carry, met right away, and maybe a yard.
And the one guy you didn't mention made that play. And that's great gains. Right, so you mentioned all those other superstars, and they are superstars. And then there's the lunch pail guy whose face eats more of his helmet than any other player in the league, and that's great gains. And he's the one then that takes on that extra defender. And he's quietly had a really good year, as Raheem Morris said as well. Gave him his due, really playing off Aaron Donald. Tremendous play from the former Husky.
Said he was the most improved player on this Ram defense. Sebastian Joseph Day out, so he has plugged that hole for a while. 3rd and 9. Wilson's pass caught by Metcalf, and he's got a first down around the 12 of the Rams.
You know the difference with the NFL game and the college game? It is one little heartbeat. Jalen Ramsey is going to slip on this little curl route. Just get to the sticks as the Seahawks use a little tempo, but that little slip right there, that's difference. He can't go collision it in a big 3rd and 10 conversion.
Last 4 touchdowns Seattle has scored against the Rams were all by Metcalf. Dallas and DJ surges through and gets inside the 5-yard line. Couldn't tell if he was down because there were so many people surrounding him, including Gerald Everett.
That was all 31. There is no question. But watch Gerald Everett here as well. He's going to toss Von Miller. And here is DJ and his buddies carrying along.
He picked up 8 when it looked like he could have been stopped after a 1 or 2. DJ Dallas. He's going on in for the touchdown. Seahawks score and take the lead.
How about that drive? I mean, that is a tone setter coming out to begin the second half. That's what you wanted to do. You wanted to hammer away and run right at these guys. And you know what? For the first time, you saw some hands on hips. And for the first time, look at the double teams here at the point of attack. Right? They're not in the backfield. They're not creating penetration. If you could keep that defense on the field, you get a chance to wear them down. You get a chance to get to their legs, and you get a chance to push the pile for a touchdown.
Jason Myers with the extra point try. And he's got it. It's a 10-3 Seattle lead. DJ Dallas with his second rushing touchdown this season, and the underdog Seahawks on the road are up.
Autohoma Motorcycle Insurance.
DJ Dallas caps a 75-yard drive with a 4-yard touchdown run through that Ram defense. Great effort. 4 carries for him in that drive. 25 yards. So he's averaging 6 yards a carry.
Yeah, that was a statement drive. And you heard Jen Hale, who talked to Pete Carroll, and he said, hey, we got to get DK going. That's 3 targets on that drive, a couple completions, including the big 3rd and 10. But I think what Pete loved and Russ loved is we could run it 7 times. And once you run it at people, even the most elite defenders, you take the starch out of them a little bit, and all of a sudden you become the aggressor.
Powell from the Ram goal line, and Brandon Powell, great special teams by the Seahawks as he's cut down at the 15-yard line. And it was Cody Thompson, backup receiver, who was just called up, who made the special teams play from the practice squad. Jen?
Well, Chris, this soft zone D that the Seahawks have been giving the Rams, obviously frustrating them. McVay talked to his team at halftime about it and said, hey, you got to be more patient. Don't fight it. Let's take whatever they give us and we will make it work, even if it's the smaller stuff underneath. So we will see how this offense can respond. Obviously, for the amount of yards they have, they are frustrated not to have seen the end zone yet tonight.
All right, so we have an injured Seahawk, John Radigan, on that special teams play. They're checking on him, so we hope that he is okay. Looks like he's in incredible pain.
His largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G network.
Radigan, the free agent from Army, headed to the locker room. Rashad Penny is in the locker room working with a chiropractor. Wes Austin back out there at corner for Seattle. Sony Michel works hard, and one of the better runs we've seen other than that opening drive. He picked up 9.
Well, this is going to be the exact same story as we just got done talking about a sustained drive from the Seahawks. As Jen said, Sean McVay's message, you got to be patient. And you've got to be willing, if you're Sean McVay, to call some of those runs versus zone coverage. You got to be willing to get Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham Jr. and Van Jefferson into some one-on-one opportunities and take what the defense gives you.
So you want to see more 3-4 wide receiver out there.
Well, I think without Tyler Higbee, you are missing that presence on the edge.
Stafford, they need a yard for a first down, and he's looking around, and nobody was open. Kupp was well covered. Sidney Jones was on. I mean, this Ram offense, they came in 7th in total offense, averaging 28 points a game. And all they have is 3. We have just over 8.5 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and again, this is not an excuse nor an explanation, but no practice Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Walk through Saturday and Sunday. No live reps, no real action. You got a lot of people back, but you got very little quality work in the last week.
Well, new people, but Sean McVay said we got to treat it like we're playing on a Thursday. Not a lot of time between, and at least it's an opponent we've seen before. But Seattle doing some different things on defense. They need a yard on 3rd down. Going for Kupp. He comes back to the football and hauls it in. Wow. At the 45-yard line.
I mean, I don't know what you could do if you're Sidney Jones. I mean, this is what people feel against Tyler Lockett. There is a penalty flag down.
Defense number 36. This penalty's decline. The play results in a first down.
I mean, how many times Tyler Lockett, Cooper Kupp, very similar. You're covered, but you're not.
Absolutely. They talked about when he came out of college, a 2nd-round pick, or excuse me, 3rd-rounder from Eastern Washington, how terrific his body control was, among other things. And that's his 119th catch, ties a Rams record with Isaac Bruce. And that was set back in 1995. Greatest show on turf. That's a pretty good show there from Cooper Kupp. Picked up a 32 yards. Michel with a big hole. Still going. Fighting his way inside the 10. 1st and goal, Rams.
Wow.
A physical run from Sony Michel.
Did you hear pre-snap? You could hear Matthew Stafford talk to his line and just say, double the 54. I don't care that they know what we're doing. We are doubling to 54 to set up this run. Okay, let them know that that's what we're going to do. And Sony, you just run through, much like Penny did on the other side, much like DJ Dallas did. I think there was some conversation at halftime about putting pads down and running through arm tackles.
A 39-yard run, spotted at the 6. It's the longest run of the season for the Rams. Back to Michel, and he'll go nowhere. Jordan Brooks. And the leading tacklers in this game for Seattle are the usual. It's Wagner and Brooks, top 2 tacklers. In fact, Brooks is 3rd in the NFL overall. But as good as Wagner has been over his career, and is the only remaining defender from their Super Bowl teams, the Rams have always kind of toyed with him a little bit, found ways to work against him, winning 7 of the 10 previous meetings. That was a no gain.
This is where you miss Higbee as well. Such a threat down there. Many of those matchups, the tight ends, the 2 tight end packages have been good against these Seahawks. Do not have that tonight.
Seattle going to try and take away Cooper Kupp for sure. That's how they do it. It's Michel breaking out. End zone throw. They can't take him away. Touchdown Rams, Cooper Kupp. And he sets the Ram record in 90 or more receiving yards in 10 straight games, which is an NFL record.
Well, what did you say earlier? They like to toy with Bobby Wagner? That is exactly what they did. And congratulations to Cooper Kupp, but they've got him right in that slot, and you're going to see just that quick little out route right there. And Bobby and Ugo Amadi trying to communicate the double out. They don't do it well enough. And Cooper Kupp delivers.
For Cooper Kupp, his 13th touchdown catch of the season, an 86-yard drive, and that's an answer for the Seahawks drive as Sony Michel started it. His big 39-yard run, and then Stafford to Kupp. 34 touchdown passes for Matthew Stafford, and we have a tie game. Cooper Kupp, 7 catches today, 120 for the season. So that's that Rams season record that we said he broke, held by Isaac Bruce. Coming off the game Monday night against Arizona when he had 13 catches, a career high. No chance on the return. How did Stafford get that ball in there?
The devil is in the details. It is going to be this motion right here. It is that motion, and you can see the communication with Bobby Wagner. They get to 4 receivers, and all of a sudden now Cooper Kupp has all this area to read. One of his great strengths, watch this, is his ability to feel that coverage. And he doesn't break into Bobby Wagner, but instead he feels that whole void and zone. You know, they talk about quarterbacks, Chris, processing the game. Why don't they talk about receivers doing it? Because that's exactly what he's doing. He's processing the game right alongside Stafford, and it's why that connection's been the best in the league this year.
He thinks like a quarterback, sits in quarterback meetings when he's not in receiver meetings. Here's Dallas, who scored the touchdown for Seattle a moment ago on that impressive drive.
So you know why Cooper Kupp was, what round was he, 3rd rounder?
3rd round, yeah.
Yeah, he's 6'2", he's 210, he runs a 4.6. And even though he's the most productive player in FCS and a 4-time All-American, well, he runs 4.6. I don't care. He plays 4.4. And he sees the game and he reads the game better than any receiver going. Those numbers don't lie. The triple threat of catches, yards after catch, touchdown, because his ability to see it better than any other receiver.
That's Swain back and forth. DJ Dallas with a big hole and flips for what looks like a first down at the 35. Hangs out of the football. They did give him credit for that. First down, Seattle.
And this is why you brought Gabe Jackson here and gave him a big deal for this matchup. We watched Damian Lewis on the other side, right? A little bit lighter than Gabe, not as much experience, still a young player. You see him attack Aaron Donald, and his 330 pounds, he got right into the chest, and that movement created the lane for DJ Dallas.
He's the leading rusher for the Seahawks on 6 carries. They're going to go back to Dallas and taking Rams with them up to the 39-yard line. First half they struggled. That last drive, total yards covered more than all of the first half. And you touched on the first-year offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron, who talked about he hadn't had really a full Russell Wilson and Gerald Everett, and doesn't have Tyler Lockett today. They're trying to make it work in a stay alive, keep kicking game for the Seahawks. Dallas to the 40, and he's shoved back. Somehow the Rams clogged that up front. Justin Hollins coming up from his inside linebacker spot.
But this is a manageable 3rd and 4. I mean, this is why you brought Shane Waldron here. This is why Pete Carroll went outside of his familiarity. He didn't have background with Shane Waldron, but he wanted someone to run the ball, to be innovative in that Shanahan tree, McVay tree, to find ways to run it. And pretty darn encouraging in this second half now with, 11 runs to 4 passes in a manageable 3rd and 4.
Metcalf goes to the top of your screen. Jalen Ramsey's on the other side of the field. Russell Wilson is looking, pointing, says go deep. Eskridge leaping in the air, and it's knocked away. He was open. Dante Dion got back there when the ball hung in the air, and it's incomplete.
And you can see the excitement on the Rams sidelines. I think Seahawks fans know that is normally a 6 after the 1, right? That's usually Tyler Lockett. Tremendous time here for Russell Wilson. This is a little bit like Matthew Stafford in the first half. Because of the extra time, he waves Eskridge forward. Ball hangs just enough to allow Dion and Rapp to come over in collision. But how many times have you seen Tyler go up and make that snag? Eskridge does all he can, but the ball ripped out eventually.
Yeah, he's only 5'9". He reached up high, but showed some strength. They're trying to hold on to that football. Another chance for an inside the 20 kick. Cooper Kupp, by the way, can also help out on a punt return. Wisely, he handles that, and it's a rare touchback. And that'll come out to the 20-yard line. Michael Dixon couldn't drop it inside the 20. Downtown LA under the lights on a Tuesday night in the NFL on Fox in a 10-10 game. 3:40 to go here in the 3rd after a 59-yard punt, but the touchback, so the Rams out to the 20. Jen Hale's down on the field. Brock Heward, Chris Myers in the booth, our entire crew. Happy early holiday stretch here with Christmas on Saturday. You'll see NFL games throughout the week. And, of course, on Sunday, it's Michelle. And he will lose yardage. Jordan Brooks back there making the play.
Yeah, Jordan Brooks attack. This was the huge play. This was the 3rd down. Just a contested one-on-one. And just as Kupp has done all season long, he wins at the beautiful hand plant there by Michelle and running through Seahawks defenders. And then ultimately, I don't know how you cover Cooper Kupp in zone coverage. Right? The communication has to be so rapid. It has to be so fast because that guy finds any void.
And he still has 3 games to go. He's setting Ram records, chance to set NFL records. 7 catches today on 2nd 11. The screen. Michelle can't get loose.
Wow, that is a big time play, Chris. That is Jordan Brooks.
Yeah, and I was going to say he's terrific against the run. They've been a little bit concerned about his pass coverage ability, but here on back-to-back plays, he does it all.
Yeah, he's looking like KJ Wright, reading that screen and beating the block as well.
In a hole on 3rd and 11. Pressure coming from Dunlap. Stafford steps up, middle of the field, and nowhere to go. It was actually more to the left towards Odell Beckham, who started to make a move to the middle of the field, but stayed up the sideline. So they were not on the same wavelength, and look, he's frustrated. I don't know if he's upset about.
Yeah, he's frustrated about that screen call. He's frustrated about the 1st down run. He knows 3rd and extra long, tough.
That's not going to work.
Yep, but he wants, and he gets right into that. And I love that for him. That's some of that urgency. Not enjoyment, but that's the urgency of your head coach.
Yeah, urgent enjoyment, urgent frustration. It's Hector's boot. Swain back there, 30-yard line. Dancing around, yeah, you talk about the life of a head coach, and today, Pete Carroll said, I've seen nothing like this in my entire career. Sean McVay said you have to adjust. It's like the Hyman Roth line on The Godfather. It's the business we've chosen. Out week 15, week 16 is right around the corner. And on NFL Network, 49ers Titans, a couple of teams thinking playoffs, and then the special Christmas Day doubleheader. Browns Packers on Fox and the NFL Network and Amazon. And then the Colts and the Cardinals. Arizona trying to fight off the Rams, who have a chance if LA can win today, they'll get their 10th victory of the season. At least in wins and losses, tie Arizona top of the division. The Cardinals would still have the divisional tiebreaker. Rashad Penny is back in. DJ Dallas did an outstanding job stepping in when Penny was getting his back worked on from what Jen Hale was telling us when he was in the locker room. Penny, quite a story when he was out injured with his knee. Spent a lot of time watching videos of Adrian Peterson, who's now a teammate, inactive, but on YouTube, especially rehabbing his knees. And it helped him rehab and have confidence that he could play with success once again, and he has. On a 2nd and 8, Wilson completes Will Dissly. Let's get a game break from Kurt Menefee.
All right, like your game, Washington and Philly were tied at 10 in the 3rd until Jalen Hurts ran it in from 2 yards out. That's his 2nd touchdown run of the game, and right now the Eagles have a touchdown lead midway through the 3rd quarter. Chris, Brock, and Jennifer.
Thank you, Kurt. The winner there goes to 7-7 on the season.
It's a big 3rd down. These are the 3rd downs the Seahawks over the course of the season have had a hard time converting and thus staying on the field time of possession.
Fires incomplete. He got knocked down. Metcalf was the target, but there was nobody open. Russell didn't want to take the sack. Greg Gaines applying heat.
That's Gaines right in the middle on a little inside stun. He beats Lewis and gets into the lane of Russell. But you saw what I saw from the booth, and that was inside technique from Jalen Ramsey on that slant route and nowhere to go.
One of the quickest defensive linemen, battling a hand injury. It's Cooper Kupp, fair catch called for, and holds it in. Celebrate Christmas. Fox proudly presenting a tribute to one of football's most beloved figures, a game changer in the NFL, the coach, the broadcaster, the video game, John Madden, the man. And Christmas Day, tune in. Daryl Johnston out, Brock Heward filling in, and Daryl was so proud because he was named when he, of course, played for the Cowboys as a fullback to the All-Madden team, and he wanted us to share. He saved this from back at his playing day. It doesn't fit you.
No, I don't think it fits him either. I think he was a 3X with those shoulder pads back in the day, too.
The 3-time Super Bowl. But it just tells you how much it meant to players, and not just the stars who were named to the All-Madden team. He influenced so many players' lives and broadcasting. That's really the key to this program, is you'll learn a lot more about what he did for broadcasting and enjoying the NFL games we watch on television. Outstanding defense there. Carlos Dunlap with his 2nd sack of the game. The longtime Bengal who was picked up last year by Seattle and is delivering now when they need it the most.
Well, this doesn't happen very much. This is Andrew Whitworth in a one-on-one situation right here. Whitworth having, again, a phenomenal season. But Dunlap, 6 sacks a season ago, Chris. Just 1.5 coming into tonight. He did play 28 snaps a week ago. That was the most in a month, and you felt this coming, and back-to-back sacks here in the first half and second half, and beating one of the best in the business in Whitworth.
3rd quarter winding down. A loss of 8. Michel is standing in his own end zone. He gets the football from Stafford and fights hard to get up to the 10-yard line as the 3rd quarter clock is winding down in a 10-10 game. It was 3-3 at the half. We're going to the 4th quarter, tied at 10. Seahawks, Rams in LA. Stadium, you'll see the Super Bowl here in less than 8 weeks. Mad scramble to get in. Only the Packers clinched a playoff spot. Rams trying to get to 10 wins. Seahawks trying to hang around. There's an all-Madden kind of guy, Al Woods. He'd be on that team. From their own 10, 3rd and a dozen. Stafford, pressure, he steps up. He's going to dump it off. Ben Skoranek cannot get the first down. The Seahawks swarm and get Carlos Dunlap. He had a sack a moment ago. There's a flag down now.
Wow.
Did Seattle?
Yeah, they're going to call this on Bless Austin. Or they're going to have a conversation about it right off the line of scrimmage, the corner.
Before the pass was thrown, holding, defense number 36. This 5-yard penalty will be enforced from the previous spot. 5 yards, automatic, first down.
I mean, I don't want to be Captain Obvious, but that's a big call because Seattle stopped them on 3rd and long and are deep in their own territory.
Wow. That's a tough call.
But that's what Cooper Kupp does to you, just the threat.
Look at Pete Carroll. He is not happy about it, and I think I understand that one. He's just trying to reroute in coverage. And yeah, is there a bunch of contact, but boy, is that a critical call on 3rd and 10 when you could have got off the field in your great field position too. That's a killer.
6 penalties on the Seahawks, accepted 2 on the Rams. To the 15, fresh set of downs. There goes Kupp. They dump it off to Michel, and Sony Michel is loose. And all the way up near the 40 of the Rams.
Remember that shot we had of McVay yelling at his offensive line? He was yelling at that screen, right, where Jordan Brooks split the offensive lineman. He got right into their chest, and he comes back to that same call, comes back to the screen, because this should be good against zone coverage. And that time, they finally get to Bobby Wagner, right? They finally get to those guys and free up a big play.
The former Patriot, kind of quietly acquired by the Rams when Cam Akers went down in the preseason with an injury, picked up August 25th for a 5th and 6th rounder. Picked up 24 yards there. From the 39, it's a first down Rams. They drop into coverage. Van Jefferson hauls that in. Dean Blandino, our rules analyst, even when it's not Sunday, he's watching closely. And what do you think about that holding call?
Yeah, when I first saw it, I thought it looked like a good call, but then watching it again, it looked like Kupp was trying to swim through. I didn't see a grab. I think the official saw the left arm of the defender, but again, you're looking for a grab or a hook, and I just didn't see it there. And it's a big call, obviously, on 3rd down.
Yeah, thank you, Dean. And maybe a little acting job near Hollywood by Cooper Kupp helping to sell it. The guy does everything well. It's history now on 2nd and 5. Henderson with a burst forward, but not enough for the first down yet. And then he's got it. Just call your friends and neighbors over. It's the holidays.
Yeah, it's amazing what a coach can do getting into the face of those big fellas. That was a John Madden shot as well, right? We showed McVay earlier yelling at the big guys. And look at the energy in the big guys up front continuing to push and play. Sean McVay knows what he's doing. He knows the pulse of this team. He's been here long enough. He challenged those guys up front, and they've responded.
And not just players that are out with COVID. Thomas Brown, the running back's an assistant head coach who helps Sean McVay with substitution. He's out. Zach Cromer, also an offensive assistant, out. They respond. Van Jefferson. And he's going to spin close to and cross over the 40. Inside the 40 of Seattle, first down Rams.
It's the first time we've seen jet sweep from either of these teams today. A big staple of all of the Shanahan tree and the McVay tree and the Waldron tree. One of the first times we've seen the jet sweep come this way. Dunlap has been so aggressive, right? That's the way you use aggressiveness against people at times. Been so aggressive getting home that that time loses the containment. And Van Jefferson watching those running backs fight for the extra yards.
Rams over 100 yards rushing as a team. Brock, you talked about how they had to get back to that run. That's what works well during their stretch and back-to-back games. And they dump it off to Cooper Kupp in the middle of the field. And he's trying to weave his way, and he does inside the 30 for another Ram first down.
Hey, raise your hand if you thought Cooper Kupp was the #1 yards after catch guy since 2017.
All right, but how about Pete Carroll kept telling us this is the guy. We got to stop. We know they're going to go to him.
But look at him. Look where he's at. He's blocking the edge play. This is just a beautiful concept. that is designed to do it. In essence, that's yet another one of those screen plays, even though the linemen are not in front. That's creative and well executed.
A spinning top, or a spinning cup. Picked up 11. Stafford throws for Kupp. He's got it. Cooper Kupp. It's a Ram touchdown.
Wow.
29 yards away. After going down the middle of the field and spinning, he hauls it in on a perfect throw from Stafford.
What did Pete say to us about those two? He found his best friends. I mean, look at how small this window is. When he releases that, of course, I can't tell you how good a throw that is. He made a couple last week, Matthew Stafford. That's as good as you can throw it.
The extra point by Matt. And what's amazing, Brock, is this is the first year of Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp working together. They look like they've been at this for years. Stafford, 35 touchdown passes, and now it's 14 touchdown catches for Cooper Kupp. These two are close. Stafford told us that Cooper Kupp, he said, his body talks to me. They work that comfortably together through practice, and they certainly did on that touchdown a moment ago.
Well, this is pretty remarkable stuff. Okay, it's two deep coverage, so Matthew Stafford knows where he wants to attack. He wants to attack the middle of the field. But look at this right now. 347 bearing down on him. Where do you want him to throw it? Who's open? Is he open? He's not open. But he's going to throw it to the one spot. Look at that. Look at the one spot. He hits the one spot, and Stafford knows it on the ground. That's as good as you can do it, man.
Yeah, even when Kupp had his back turned, he felt confident. Fifth two-touchdown game of the season for Kupp. And Stafford settling in with a 7-point Ram lead. Under 11 minutes to play in the fourth. Wilson has plenty of time. And he gets rid of it. It was interesting that Leonard Floyd was standing out there alone, almost playing the role of a spy. So that, as I say, we haven't seen Russell Wilson, Brock, run much today.
Kind of hard to run against this crew of Von Miller and Leonard Floyd and linebackers that run. But I love that conversation that you just had about Kupp and Stafford, and it's hard to define. Right? I mean, what do you mean? I read his body. Seriously. I mean, it is hard to define, but when you see it on video like that, I mean, Jordan Brooks had great coverage, but you just can't beat that throw.
They really do understand each other. On a 2nd down 10. Wilson, a quick throw. Penny hit hard, stays in bounds, stops short of the 30. Darius Williams delivered that hit.
So now you're 3rd and 7+, and now this is where Raheem Morris on the other side, right? He's played rush 4, he's trusted his coverage. Here's a chance for that front 4, and you can just see it. Look at the body language of Leonard Floyd. Look at the body language of Von Miller. This is their down and distance to get home.
Had a couple of emotional shifts already in this second half. That Seattle drive opening the 3rd quarter, then the Rams responded, and that a moment ago has lit this building up. Extra pressure, so the blitz is on. Russell Wilson backpedaling, throws for Metcalf. There's a flag down, and everybody's down. Incomplete. Flag at midfield.
That's going to be a hold, and that one was an obvious one from the Rams. That was giant on giant. Big on big.
Pass interference. Defense number 5.
That's 2 calls on Ramsey. He's trying to get in the head of Metcalf.
A little bit, and it's also a double move, right? It was the same action earlier that created the hold, and this time it's pass interference, and it's the same double move, and I think that's what Jalen is asking. Why is that PI and not a hold, right? He knows he's beat, and the elite DBs will do that at times for a holding call. I think that's why he's a little disturbed, is why the pass interference.
That's a fair question. That penalty, though, that we're just marking off the spot here. That penalty that was called on the Seattle defense when they stopped the Rams on 3rd down deep in their own territory. Put new life in Sean McVay's team, and they march all the way in for the go-ahead score. Spotted at the 42 of Seattle. On first down, Wilson is in trouble, and he can't get away. Aaron Donald.
You thought out Woods would be beloved by John Madden's all-Madden team. What would he do with number 99?
Well, he's just a superstar.
This is just splitting a double team. Posick and Lewis slide. You got a 2-on-1. And that's once again that leverage. 6 foot, 280. He splits them. He's underneath them, and he's so dynamic. He brings Russell down for now the 15th time in his career.
Rashad Penny, and he can't get beyond the 33-yard line. Vaughn Miller made the tackle. Yeah, Russell Wilson, he just doesn't enjoy playing the Rams. It's interesting because the Rams have always been able to do a good job, even when Russell Wilson was in his heyday, just kind of containing him. And by the way, 11 sacks for the year. Donald going to the Pro Bowl once again. That's his 8th time. Congratulations, Tom Brady. 15th Pro Bowl. Jonathan Taylor going to his first for the Colts. Some of those names leaking out today. On 3rd and 19. Quick pass is hauled in, and Eskridge thrown down, a flag back inside the 30. Seattle, there might have been some movement here.
That looked like Leonard Floyd was a little early.
Any yardage will help Seattle's offense here if it's against LA.
Offside. Defense number 54. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Yeah, as much as Aaron Donald likes to play Russell, Leonard Floyd had 5 sacks a season ago. 5 of his 10.5 were against Russell Wilson. At 3rd and 19, he's trying to get an extra jump.
Three sacks for the Rams in this game. Wilson going deep. Metcalf knocked away at the last moment by Ramsey. Get hung up there a while.
It did.
He was open.
Yeah, that is one that we've seen this just a little bit from Russell as he's come back from this finger injury. DK beats Jalen Ramsey. That was a high hurdle step, and I don't know what Jalen was thinking there. But if that ball is out in front of DK and you see his expression, he knows it. He wanted that one back.
And usually that's a Russell Wilson, whether it's a moon ball or rainbow throw, it gets there. Fair catch, Cooper Kupp backing up inside the 15 of the Rams. 7:42 to play in the 4th quarter. An NFC West clash. It's been that close. Good defense by the Rams protecting a 7-point lead, and they have the football. DK Metcalf, 8 touchdowns this season, but he's gone 5.5 games without a scoring grab, and had a chance there a moment ago as Russell Wilson he couldn't get it deep enough to him as Michel carries on 1st down.
Yeah, take a look at this, Chris. Russell does a really good job with his eyes, okay, and he beats the safety. So you're going to see him look the safety off right here. So he gets exactly what he wants, a one-on-one situation. Right? We showed Stafford earlier. If this ball is here, 15 yards out in front, this is a touchdown. I mean, it's a touchdown. DK has him beat, but this ball just hangs. It's just underthrown enough that Ramsey comes back and knocks it away. And Russell and DK both know, as much as they work together, as much as they practice in the offseason, that was a miss.
From just beyond their own 15-yard line, Michel will go nowhere, and it'll be 3rd and long. And all Big Al Woods and Rasheem Green. Boy, this defensive, they made the step. This defensive line without Kerry Hyder today, that group, including Carlos Dunlap, they've played really well.
Yeah, outside of that 39-yard run, that was it. That's been the only run that the big fellas. Puna's played excellent. Woods has done a nice job. We've seen a little bit of Kondichi, and Dunlap's been awesome. That 39-yard run's about it in the run game.
And they're a little thin. Brian Monet, who was injured anyway and on the COVID list, would have been part of that rotation to help rest a few guys. He has time, but he can't find anybody. Dunlap with his 3rd sack of the game.
Wow. Holy smokes, Carlos Dunlap had the game of his life as a Seattle Seahawk over here. It was the other side, right? It was Whitworth earlier. This time it is the backup. It is Bobby Evans. And this is the hat trick. I mean, this is all 3 of them, and he's done it in different ways. He's done it with a bull rush. He's done it slanting inside, and that time he just goes right through Bobby Evans to Matthew Stafford's chest. Have yourself a night, number 8.
3 sacks for the veteran. 92 sacks in his career. Becker gets it away. Freddie Swain. Fair catch at the 46 of Seattle. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
All right, Washington was down 10 to the Eagles until Jared Patterson, the undrafted rookie out of Buffalo, gets his first NFL touchdown, and it makes it a field goal game in the 4th quarter. Could be a good finish there, Chris.
Thanks, Kurt. And Seattle hoping for a good finish here, trailing by 7 with the football. And 54 yards away from tying this game. The defense has kept them in it.
Sure have. And you see Big Clint hurt the defense. The line coach Al Woods has had a breakout season. This is the game they've been waiting for Carlos Dunlap, and not a better time to have it.
Rashad Penny runs into his own man, still gets across midfield to the Ram 49. Well, the Seahawks hope to win out. And they also have a string of 9 consecutive winning seasons on the line. As the Rams at 10-4, should they win or not, they're still the top wild card team. And then that 2nd and 3rd spot, look how wide open it is. But the best thing for Seattle, other than winning out, they're going to need help, is to somehow get into a tie with San Francisco. And they'd win head-to-head because they swept the 49ers. 49ers play Thursday night at Tennessee on the NFL Network. Penny close to a first down, just a little bit short. Nearing the 4.5-minute mark. On 3rd and 1 at the 45 of Los Angeles. Pete Carroll since 2010, that outstanding December record. Pete in Seattle, 3rd best record in December in that time in the NFL, behind New England and Green Bay.
False start. Offense, number 20. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
Well, that hurts from 3rd and 1, where you maybe could even gamble on 4th. So now this on 3rd and 6.
Look at Swain act like he's taking the snap. I wonder if that made Penny flinch just a bit, but boy, is that a critical penalty. 3rd and 1 to 3rd and 6.
The Rams didn't flinch.
Yeah, 50. No, 24.
Penny goes nowhere. 4th down.
You saw Pete having conversation, and who he's talking to is the folks upstairs of how they want to manage this.
Well, would you punt it here? It's a long way to go. It's a 7-point game. Looks like they're leaving the offense out there. You got all 3 timeouts, 2-minute warning. You trust your defense even if you don't get it.
You make that 3rd down call on a run to try to get something, but you get nothing. And once again now, right in that tough 4th and 6 spot where you could see man, you could see zone, and we've seen the Rams the last few times heat that pocket up.
Will the Rams bring extra pressure? They're going to have to use a valuable timeout. After all that, Well, Christmas Day on Fox, the Browns, tough loss. They got moved back a little bit in that Raider game because of COVID, lost at the final moment. Another great finish, but they'll take on Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Trying to stay in the playoff hunt. You'll see it on Fox NFL Network. Catch the Colts Cardinals in a game with a lot of playoff implications after that. A Christmas Day doubleheader. Fox NFL Network streaming on Prime Video. Good teams. Browns, Packers, Colts, Cardinals.
Well, that timeout now, look at what you've done to this crowd, too.
Give more time to amp up. LA not so laid back. Fourth down, low snap, handled by Russell, floats one in the air and bounces off a Ram. DJ Dallas the target. There are no flags, and that was the rookie Ernest Jones running with Dallas on the coverage. Here comes a flag later, far after the play was over. And a hush over this crowd as they discuss.
That was a very, very late penalty flag.
Well, I wonder if it was something was said over on the sideline. Because
the result of the play is a turnover on downs. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, Seattle number 31. This 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the spot of the first down. It's 1st and 10.
I think DJ Dallas, and I'll be curious, Dean Blandino, what you think about this. So often you see with this play, he's saying that's pass interference. That's pass interference. How many times do you see an underthrown ball and a defender run through you? Right, he's beaten, he's underthrown.
But the ball hit him in the back. He kicks the ball afterwards, and that's what causes the penalty, though. And you can see he's still frustrated over it. But you can't kick it, and that's the 15 yards unsportsmanlike. Dean is standing by. We're going to check in with him after the Rams, who take it all the way to the Seattle 35-yard line. Dallas shaking his head on a 4th and 6. It has turned this game upside down for the Seahawks. Sony Michel has room for a first down and stays in bounds inside the 20 of Seattle. Dean Blandino, how about the call? Was there pass interference?
Yeah, I thought there was. You watch it, and Dallas is in position to catch the ball. He's looking back for the ball. Jones takes his arm on both of Dallas's arms before the ball gets there. This is a good look. Watch him just come down on the arms there, clearly before the ball arrives. DJ Dallas understandably upset.
How's that not called, Dean? How's that not called? In that moment is we see it called all the time. There's usually the benefit of the doubt, and that is early contact.
It is early, and you talk about bang bang. That's bang bang is when it all happens at the same time. That's not the case in that situation, and you would hope you'd get a flag down, and unfortunately, it didn't happen.
Yeah, Dean, let me ask you: would it have mattered if Jones had turned around? And can New York and the video assist, could they have helped on something so obvious that everybody saw? I mean, even in a bang bang moment with a replay.
Yeah, the second question first. No, New York cannot get involved. That's a judgment call. We did have pass interference be reviewable back in 2019. Didn't go very well. So that is a subjective call that New York replay cannot get involved in. Even if the defender has his head turned around, he can't make that type of contact before the ball arrives. This, to me, is clearly pass interference and should have been called.
Yeah, and then what surprises me, thank you, Dean, it's just seeing it in real time. I mean, 99 of 100, you see that call.
It was close, but
and you almost run that play, Chris, knowing that, okay, if they bring pressure, I'm just going to put it up there because that linebacker is lost in space. He's going to run through the defender, and you just see that called so frequently. I think that's what shocks me, to not see it called in that moment.
Meanwhile, a 2nd and 9 for the Rams. Back to the Michelle, and they stay on the ground. Jordan Brooks with another tackle. So 2 major penalties that you questioned, and so did our rules analyst in both places. One going
call me rules analyst too.
Well, I'll say you're
don't please,
an opinionated analyst
yes.
about the rules.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it wasn't as obvious to me. And then on the replay, it was clearly obvious. And as Dean explained, you can't go back through that and put that under review. But I thought with the video assist from New York that maybe extra eyes could help the officiating crew. Bottom line is the Rams have the football and they have the lead with 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
Chicken sandwich is now on 2 for $6.
In a tight game with some controversial calls, and the Rams with 2 minutes to go on a 3rd and 13. Will they keep it on the ground and just tack on 3?
Yes.
Okay. Michelle makes it an easy field goal try. The Seahawks will use a timeout, so they're out of timeouts. And this is a big kick to make it a 2-score game. And he has been the most accurate kicker in the NFL and already hit earlier from 55 yards away. That was that opening drive when the Rams were ready to punt. And there was a penalty there that moved him 5 yards closer. This will be from 35 yards away. Originally drafted by Tampa Bay, the Rams went through kicking issues after Greg Zuerlein and finally found their guy. Pete Carroll's team is going to have to do a lot in a little bit of time, or try and block this to keep it a 1-score game. Matt Gay will give the Rams a 10-point lead. Let's check out the reaction. Hacker, the holder, and McVay. He didn't know if he was going to play a game on Sunday with a roster that he said he probably didn't have enough players to actually go out on a field and play a game. So the NFL decides to move it to Tuesday, as it did move some other teams. And the Rams now have a chance to get their 10th win in pretty good shape, knock Seattle out of the way. Remember, Seattle won the division last year. Rams had to beat them in the playoffs and then try and chase down Arizona in the NFC West.
You know, that reaction, I think, from McVay is, man, it's been a crazy 10 days. This has been a gritty game. This has not been efficient. It's not been very pretty. Yeah, there have been a couple tough calls. He's challenged some of his guys up front. Right? I mean, this has not been beautiful, efficient Sean McVay offense that you've seen the last couple weeks. You know what it's been? It's been a gritty, tough December win, and that's what it takes to win the NFC West.
Well, the Seahawks gave it their best shot. As we look at the remaining games here, so the Cardinals, we mentioned that game with Indianapolis at Christmas, and then Dallas and Seattle. Seattle's going to have a lot to say still about this division in the playoffs. Rams at Minnesota, at Baltimore. See that on Fox. They finish with the 49ers. 49ers are on a roll. They have that Tennessee game on the NFL Network, and then a bit of a breather with Houston before finishing with the Rams, and then Seattle at home with the Bears, the Lions, and then that game with Arizona to wrap things up. Still 1:51 to go. If Russell can cook quickly, as he does for a first down to Metcalf. Out of timeouts. Down 10. Without Tyler Lockett. 3 straight 1,000-yard receiving seasons. He had 3 100-yard games in the last 6, but on the COVID list cost him. Dallas, who a moment ago lost his cool on the no call on that 4th down gamble. Metcalf 5 catches in the game. Leading receiver for Seattle. Wilson moving around. Can he find anybody? He's going to throw it deep. Eskridge. Double covered.
And that is usually where we have seen over the years, much like Cooper Kupp is to Matthew Stafford, everything that we were talking about with their relationship. Russell has it with DK, but it is just different with Tyler. right? And you feel his absence today. That, again, it's not an excuse. This is the NFL. There's no excuses, as Tony Dungy had on our walls in Indy. No excuses, no explanation. Execution, expectations. But there's no question Russell was missing 16 when he's scrambling.
Rams will call a timeout.
Timeout. Los Angeles, their first 30-second timeout.
You know, Sean McVay told us it's the most moving parts. You asked him about what's going on this week, moving the game, but he said this has made us a stronger team. It can make us a more powerful team. And he has a 10-win team, and what he's done since arriving in Los Angeles for this Ram team. And now with the first year working with Matthew Stafford, you know, the Super Bowl is the target here. I mean, just getting into the playoffs for them.
No, that's why the move was made. That's why OBJ was made. Von Miller was made. That's why you go all in and you sacrificed your draft capital. Right? That's why you make the move to bring Matthew Stafford in, who's now going to get a minute away from his 10th win of the regular season.
Wilson has time, fires, and incomplete for Metcalf. Cooper Kupp, we saw him a moment ago, that beard growing. He said he didn't want to shave it. You know, his father, who played in the NFL, said, yeah, son, I'm proud of you, but the beard, clean it up a little. It's like, no, I don't know if it's superstition or just how that rugged, Pacific Northwest look where he's from.
Hey, you put a stocking cap and a mask on, and no one, even in L.A., would recognize you.
What an MVP year he's having as Metcalf hauls that in. Crafty catch it out of bounds to stop the clock. 54 seconds to go. Might need a Hail Mary here soon, or at least position for a field goal and an onside kick for Seattle. Try and force a tie. Timeout, Rams.
Timeout, Los Angeles. Their second of the half. 30 seconds.
Yeah, there's just something about Cooper Kupp, man. You just marvel at, whether you're live in person and you watch the work that he does, whether it's pregame, watching the diligence. But these are the catches you have to make in this league. These are the contested catches that the greats. We put up the numbers that the people that he's in comparison to, they were all physical. They all had tremendous football IQ. And I think what McVay does, as well as anybody in this league, is you could never just say, oh, here he is. He's a split end. Yep, he's a flanker. Right, we're going to double cover him. We're going to take him out of the game. No, he is. What did you say to me earlier? How many different positions has he played?
Seven different that he caught a pass out of. I didn't know there were that many you could line up. But the Rams have created that. And look at the smiles from Kupp and Stafford. Looking for a Seattle miracle here in Los Angeles. Wilson throws it deep. Metcalf back there, but so are two Rams, and it's intercepted. Taylor Rapp with the finishing touches on this Ram masterpiece. That was one of the things they talked about Sean McVay, the biggest difference. Players who knew him when he was an assistant and a head coach, and they said the biggest thing, Raheem Morris noticed, and he worked with him years ago when he said, it's not just about offense, it's how well he knows his entire team now.
That's exactly right. And I think when he was hired, I remember hearing this story, Chris, that when he interviewed, he's like, you hire me, you get Wade Phillips too. Like, he knew and was already on the phone and knew as a young coach, right? First-time head coach, what kind of staff could he surround himself with? Wade built a lot of the foundation. Staley built upon it. And, yeah, McVay can coach all phases of this game.
So Seattle's streak of 9 straight winning seasons is over. Best they can finish is 8-9. The Chiefs have clinched their 9th straight winning season. The Rams now lead the NFC in terms of winning streaks with 5 in a row, and they go to 10-4. You see the difference in the division. Rams split with Arizona head-to-head, and a frustrating season and game for Russell Wilson. And Seahawk fans didn't like it that the game was moved. They like it less with the final result. For Brock Hewitt, Chris Myers, our entire crew, wishing you a very Merry Christmas. However you celebrate, have a good one. Enjoy.